This podcast may contain views and opinions which are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any local agency, organization, union, employee, or company, including the podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Clock Shop Talk. Thank you guys for tuning in every week. We know we always say thank you guys, and we appreciate the views, the interest, everything that you guys do for us. Obviously, we do this for you guys at the end of the day, to inform, to get people excited, to get people up to date, or keep people up to date and get them interested in the union and union, events.
And all union events, yeah.
So I have to say, this week, you don't have to suffer through me and George again.
Nope.
But the long-awaited, highly anticipated guest that we've actually mentioned on the show before is here this week finally, Joe Barra. What's up, Joe?
Let's talk, man. Let's talk.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Let's talk. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you ready to go?
Ready
All
to
right.
go.
And obviously, since you saw in that shot, the most
frequent
guest that we've ever had, beloved by all you guys in YouTube and Spotify world, Gary Brockett.
I think he's in need a parking space soon.
I know. We're gonna give you a bonus. We're gonna give you 10 times your wages for the show,
which is zero.
Which is zero.
Yeah,
a lot of zeros.
Your wages are zero, but we're going to add a lot of zeros to that.
I'll take it. I got suckered into this one today.
Yeah, hey.
By John. Hey, come hang out with me.
It's all good.
Hey.
He strong-armed you?
Yeah, he strong-armed me a little bit. So
no, we appreciate you guys coming on, obviously. But, I mean, let's get into it, I guess.
Let's do it.
Joe.
Yeah.
We want to get to know you.
All right. Let's get
Who are you? Where do you come from?
Uh,
How long you been doing it? How long you been a Teamster? Let's start there.
Okay. I've been a Teamster, for like 15 years. I'm at CVS right now. I was never involved before in the past. Never involved at all. And that's what usually a lot of members are like that. They don't get involved.
Yeah.
We don't get involved at all. It's because sometimes we don't hear it, we don't pay attention, or we don't care. And that's part of it,
You got your own life.
Yeah,
I get it.
We got a lot going on. But I want to say 4 years ago, things changed. I had to see a lot of my members or workers that I work with in my department get fired.
Wow.
Change had to happen, and I was trying to figure out how to make change. And when that happened, I was looking for answers. And when I started looking, I noticed that something was going on with the election. When it came to Eric and Kelly going at it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know who Kelly was because I was never involved.
Yeah, you weren't really
at all.
paying
And I didn't know Eric either. I would see him a little bit during campaigns in the past years when I was walking out of work, but I wasn't paying attention. Like a lot of people never pay attention. But I needed change when it came to my department. So I was looking for answers. So I saw that there was an election going on at the local. So I was going to the stewards at the time because I wasn't a steward.
Yeah.
I was going to a steward like, what's going on? Who are these guys? Oh, it's Kelly. He's been here for plus 20 years. Okay. So who's the other guy? But I didn't even know. I saw gray shirts. I saw green shirts. So I went to a couple guys, stewards that were wearing the gray shirts. And okay, let me go find out who's wearing the green shirt. Who are those guys?
Yeah.
Because I know Kelly's been around for 20 years. So, okay, nothing's happened in the past 20 years. Let's find some change. So I looked for the green shirts, and I saw one of my other stewards on days, Henry, wearing the green shirt.
Uh-huh.
And I went up to him, and I was like, who's this guy? Name's Eric. He's running for the treasury of the local. Secretary Treasurer. I was like, okay. Let me get his number. I want to talk to him.
Damn, like that?
Yeah, like straight up like that. Right away. I didn't wait.
No,
that guy.
That's good.
I want to talk to that guy.
I didn't even want to wait. So I was like, let me get his number. So Henry gave me his number, and I text him. I text him a couple of days later. I was at home. Like I said, a lot was going on in my department. People were getting fired because I work in the CVS, the pharmacy department, which is kind of locked up in the at the warehouse. It's like in a
You deal with all the drugs.
Yeah, where all the drugs are at. So you got cameras everywhere. You got cameras everywhere staring at you, man.
Yeah.
And it was really strict up there. So because you're handling drugs, so
Yeah.
you will mess up one item of box of 25, you get suspended right away.
Wow.
You just put in the wrong.
Just for a mistake.
One, you get suspended right away.
I understand that because it
And
could
then
be like
you do it next week, you get fired. Straight up.
Oh, shit.
So people
Two
are getting
strikes, you're out.
yeah, quick. So it could happen real quick.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man. Now I'll go up to my supervisors like, what's the dollar amount that's getting people fired? Or what's the quantity? There is nothing in language.
Yeah.
So I was like, so she wouldn't give me answers, but people were getting fired. So I was like, fuck, man. I work in that department, so I'm not trying to get fired. I'm trying to figure out how to fix this.
Yeah.
So I text Eric. I might still have that text. I don't know. Actually, I texted him a long thread when he was campaigning. I texted him a long thing of I probably still have it, but I'm not gonna read it right now. But it was just who are you? What are you gonna do? What's your plan? What are you trying to do? I'm trying to figure out what's his plan. And he didn't text me back. He called me back. He called me back when he was still on his UPS route.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at home, and I was at home, and I saw he was calling me. I was like, oh shit, he's calling me. Okay, so I stepped outside. It was at night already, and I answered it. I was like, what's up, man? He's like, what's up, man? I got your text. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to figure out who you are. I want to know who you are. You know, what's your plans?
Yeah.
And he told me, he's like, I was going to text you back, but I had to call you back. I'm like, good, because I need to talk to you, you know? And he was on his route. He was like fucking
You hear all
delivering
the
packages.
beep, beep.
Yeah. He was
Everybody, all the UPS drivers, or if you talk to a UPS driver, you already
he's
know.
working.
You
He's
hear all the
working,
fucking-
driving packages.
Yeah.
He's not even, what he is right now.
Yeah.
You know, he was just working. And he told me his plan. I'm like, you know what? We're ready. I'm down. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm all in.
Ready
like,
for some change.
I'm ready for some change.
Yeah.
My whole department's ready for some change. So I told him, look, what I need is shirts. I need shirts, the green shirts for my whole department.
Yeah.
Or as much people who want to wear it. He's like, okay, I got you. He's all right. Because one of these Fridays, we're all going to wear it. And I'm going to make sure the whole warehouse sees it, you know? So a couple of days before, the old administration stewards, they all were passing out shirts.
Yeah.
So there was a meeting, and they all wore their Kelly shirts. A lot of older heads, because that's what it was,
Yeah. I get it. I mean, he was.
yeah, that's what it
empowered.
was. So
Yeah.
it happens. So they all wore their shirts. I was like, okay, they don't. I was thinking in my head, like, hey, they don't know what's coming. We're about to surprise them. We're about to surprise them. So on a Friday, I made sure I passed out my shirts to my department on Thursday. Wear it tomorrow. We're gonna wear it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everybody, all as one. And we wore it, all of us. It surprised my supervisor. Like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? Like what's going on? What
It's
is
bad
this?
when your supervisor wants to know about
Yeah.
you.
What is
And believe
going
it or
on?
not, we went through it at UPS where we had supervisors actively, and in all honesty, really what they were doing was campaigning for.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course.
it is what it is, but actively campaigning for another administration.
Yeah.
Telling us, oh, well, why would you want to do that? Because they were, they were happy with the way things were going.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was working in
And
their
really,
favor. Yeah.
your union, the company should never be happy with what your union is doing. Your union, our job really is to fight for you guys, period. To fight tooth and nail, to upset some people. It is what it is. And you see that now with the strikes going on, with, you know what I mean? Like stuff that wouldn't go on before, the fights being taken up. And I don't ever knock the old administration. We kind of take that stance. Now, if you have stories, cool, we'll hear the stories. Gary's had his own stories. We don't ever take the position here where we knock somebody. And in my opinion, and this is just completely me, God puts people in place for whatever reason he wants to. And that's just me. Whatever, you guys out there can, have your own opinions. They were in power. Cool. And then Eric came along, fresh blood. He's excited. He's, ready to fight. And, I maybe chalk it up to like complacency or something. But at the end of the day, now Eric's here and he's done a lot. The administration, Eric, John, Danny, the e-board, just kind of put people in place that were ready to fight, man. We're ready to fight.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We'll take on a company.
For
We
sure,
don't give a
man.
fuck.
Like
back to your story, man.
Oh, yeah. Look, that's what happened, man. And like I said, a lot of stewards on days weren't on board with the new with Eric.
Yeah.
They were for Cali, and understandable. They were part of that group for a while.
I understand.
Only like I said, only one steward on days was on board.
Mm-hmm.
On nights, it was a whole different story. They were all, I think, on board for Eric.
Yeah.
Which is, they were ready for it. They were ready for it. But on days, it was a lot older guys, older people, that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
That's been with the administration, which is okay. But when it happened, I remember we wore the shirts, all of us, and people saw it. Like, everybody saw it, and it was a good thing. It was a good thing to see a closeness, even in my group, because nobody ever gets involved, but they're ready for change because a lot of stuff was going on in my department, and it happened, and they won. They won, which was, I was surprised. I was like, oh shit, it happened. And I didn't even know. I was, like I said,
you played your part, though.
I wasn't a steward.
You did what you needed to do.
I wasn't a steward, but I didn't even know what that meant. Like that Eric said, like, what does that mean? Like, I wasn't sure what that means. Okay, something's happening, change is happening, but I still didn't understand what it meant. And then I'm gonna say, I was like, one of the stewards on days was, we're really good now. We're real cool.
Yeah.
But we got into it in a moment. There was a moment of, once it happened, I was walking back to my department. He came up to me and he was like, we're all going to step down. What are you going to do? And I was like, okay, you guys are all going to step down? Well, I'm ready to step up. I'm ready to go. And you guys can step down if you guys want. But it's time for change.
Yeah.
It's time for change. But like I said, he's on board 100% now, because because me and him, because I was cool with him even before the election. Like, we always had like a good like understanding of each other, because he was always passionate about his thing, which is good. Is good. And one of the stewards did step down, and he's no longer on board, but he stayed on board, and the other stewards, all of them stayed on board, just one step down, but he stayed on board, and he saw the change 100%. And so I'm going to say his name, Jason. Jason 100% is down for anything now with us. He saw the change, and he's 100% behind us.
It's funny. I was actually having a conversation about another steward that was a steward for a long time. He was a steward under the old administration. And same thing, he was on the other side, if you want to call it that, whatever. I think he respected who was in power. He, played kind of like, hey, you're in power. I appreciate what you're doing. Maybe he didn't see at first like that change was needed. Yeah. But when he started seeing the change, this guy is on board. And I was talking to somebody else about him. I'm not going to mention any names, but I was talking to somebody else about him, and and he's been around a long, long time. Let's just put it that way. And he said, that stewards sometimes, or just members that may be supportive of one administration, and then they see the actual change that maybe a new administration brings, and they see like, oh shit, like these guys are putting in work, like these guys are doing their thing. Yeah. Those become some of your strongest supporters.
Oh, for sure.
Because it wasn't something that they maybe believed in the beginning. Maybe they didn't even vote for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't vote for the administration. But they see what you do, and they go, oh, fuck. Okay, well, I'm on board now, and now I'm on board 110%. It's a trip, man.
No, hey, trust me. like in the beginning, I was surprised with Jason. Like I wasn't sure which way he was gonna teeter, but he saw it, and for sure he went 100%. Because when the second election happened, you know, when they tried to come back, they went up to Jason because they knew Jason, but Jason,
he was an old supporter.
Yeah, big time. But when they went up to him, Jason was like, "Nope, on board 100% with these guys.
Yeah.
He's down." And we talk all the time. That like,
So he's wearing a green shirt now.
Yeah, and I was like, man, he's always wearing the green. And like I say, he was all about the unity. You know, he's about bringing a unit together. Maybe he was understanding that change had to happen, but it did happen. He saw why it had to happen, and he's 100% on board now. And that's why I respect him so much, because he was stayed around to see it and to understand that it had to happen. And he tells me.
I think you can talk about change.
Yeah.
You can talk about it. You can, you know, and sometimes it takes, you know, you got to do it. Your actions speak louder than your words, as they say, right? So, I mean, you know, we've watched and I've watched, and I wasn't, I've always been a supporter of Eric for a long time. But, you know, you see him come in and he's brand new and you don't know what's going to happen. You're like, oh shit, does he even know what he's doing? He just came off the truck, blah, blah, blah. So there's some concerns. Everybody has concerns, right? Yeah. And then you see the change that's been implemented and you're just like, oh shit, like this guy is fucking really about it. He works really hard. He brought in some people, and John and Danny, that work really fucking hard. And, you know, put people in place where they need to be, and then everybody kind of fell on board. Like, it was what it was. I mean, like, to what you're saying, it's just fucking, it's been a good thing.
Trust me. Really no, man. Like, I remember coming to, cause I said, I never came to meetings or anything. Never got involved, especially because they're on Wednesdays back in the day.
Joe.
They're on Wednesdays. I said, I was never involved.
I couldn't make it on Wednesdays.
And they're on Wednesdays.
While we're on that subject.
So I was like, why is it on Wednesdays? But once it became Saturdays, I was like, you know, I'm there all the time now.
Yeah.
I'm always there. But I showed up and I started seeing my other brothers, you know, from Albertsons, UPS.
This guy?
Oh, yeah, Gary, because like I said, Gary, like, we didn't know each other until it popped up, because we didn't talk amongst nights or days or even, like, other barns. We didn't talk amongst ourselves, you know? Like, now our group at CVS, the stewards, became a lot closer. Like, Emerson had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Emerson, our first BA.
Shout out to Emerson.
Yeah, shout out to Emerson, because he had a lot to do with that, because he brought us all together, nights and days, and he schooled us. Like, he taught us how to bring a unit together, you know, and it was never there before. Like, amongst us at CVS, never. But it happened because he brought us together, you know, and we fed off that, you know, and once we fed off ourselves, we started going to other barns. We was like, oh, who are these Albertsons guys? Who are these UPS? Who are Coca-Cola?
Shout out to the Albertsons guys.
Yeah. I shout out to some Albertsons guys.
Even though
we see him in the background right here.
There's some
hey, no,
battling going on with the Albertsons guys.
Hey, back in the day,
who runs Lambert?
Hey, back in the day,
Clearly CVS does.
No, I'm gonna say this. Back in the day, maybe Albertsons, you know, they were on top of everything because they're grocery, you know.
Damn.
But I'm gonna tell you guys right now, CVS, we're coming up, man. Like we're going at them, like, but it's good competition.
Yeah.
You want to see that. You want to see everybody getting involved. Not only Albertsons or fucking Vaughn's or whatever, whoever's around, like any strong past union. You want to see CVS has never been around get involved, like strong.
I'm waiting. I mean, we've talked about it on the show. I'm waiting for UPS, man. We gotta step it up, man.
Especially them.
We gotta
step it
now,
up.
I mean, look, if you look at it trade wise, grocery guys have the majority of the guys, right? In the local.
Yeah.
You look at it single like barn wise, I guess. UPS is gonna be tops, or I shouldn't say single employer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. UPS has like 33% of the membership at 952. But when you look at how many, I think between Albertsons and CVS, there's like 3,000. You know, I think there's just under 2,000 UPS members, and there's like 3,000 grocery guys when you add, CVS, Albertsons, or whatever warehousemen.
Yeah.
I shouldn't call you grocery guys, I
Yeah.
know, especially you're in the pharmacy. So.
Yeah. Well, not anymore.
Well, we're mixed. We're pharmacy and like front store, grocery,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's a little bit of everything.
I got
It's a mix.
So let's talk about a little bit about like what do you do at CVS? How, like when you started, like work your way up the ranks.
Okay, so I came from lawn drugs.
Oh, you came from Longs.
Lawn drugs.
Okay.
It wasn't even a union.
Yeah.
I worked in Ontario. It was lawn drugs. It was a pharmacy, of course,
Yeah.
before they got bought out by CVS. In 2006, I joined lawn drugs. I was there for like 3 years. And then CVS came along and bought them out. So they came up to all of us and said, CVS is buying us out. Like we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If we're going to lose your jobs or what. So everybody was kind of worried about what's going to happen. And then they came up to us a week later saying, okay, you have a chance to go to CVS if you want to, but you got to work at nights. And I was like, fuck, man, I don't want to go back to nights. I just better start working days. And I'm young, so I don't want to go at nights. So I was gonna take the package deal that they're offering. I did take it actually for the first, when they offered it to me, I took it.
Yeah.
And then I went back home, and my lady's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "I don't know." So I went back and I was like, "You know what? I don't think I'm gonna take it. I'm just gonna see what's gonna happen."
Yeah.
So I wrote it out, and I finally transferred to CVS in La Habra because I was in Ontario in lawn drugs. And once they closed down that warehouse, I was permanently at CVS.
Okay.
But like I said, I wasn't in the union, so I didn't even know what a union was. I heard about the Teamsters, and I always heard about it because my dad comes from a union. He works at Vaughn's, grocery, but at the store. So it's not the Teamsters, it's something else.
Yeah.
But they went on strike. So I kind of remember that story, I remember when he went on strike. So I went to CVS, and I was like, oh, Teamsters, oh, yeah, I heard about them. They're pretty strong.
Yeah.
When I went there, it wasn't like that. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like I said, I'm going
Jumped
back.
into old 952.
I was like, what is this?
I got you.
But that was 2010 when I went there.
Yeah.
And I was like, it don't even feel like a Teamsters. Like, what does this mean? Like,
What
I
is
thought,
a
I thought it was
Teamster?
strong.
I felt the same way.
That's why I was like, what is this? Like,
Yeah, what is this? What do we do?
at the same time, I wasn't involved or paying attention to what's going on. I got there, and I just did my thing. I was young, not paying attention, but I said I would hear about them, but there was no reason for me to get active because there was no push, a little push. Sometimes you just gotta give a little push to somebody. Hey, come to a meeting, or hey, this is going on, but there was nothing to push you, so it was just stale. Everything was just like nothing's going on. Like you hear the Teamsters, the union board was nothing was going on. There was no information getting passed around. So I just stay stale. I was until, like I said, something happens. You need change, and you figure out, something has to happen. Something needs to change.
Yeah.
And it did. It happened. Everybody needs to take action. You can't wait on it because waiting doesn't change anything, man. You gotta put action into your words.
Would you say that, and we kind of ask all the guests, but would you say that, all those people getting fired in your department, that was your starting point, your catalyst into getting into union stuff, and at least being curious, hey, what?
How's it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Look, in the past, I was always fighting my own battles by myself without a steward, which is, I already knew how to do that. I knew how to fight my own battles, and I did. But with the union, it helped out 100% even more. Having the backing of the union and understanding how it works, how my battles progress even better, because like I said, I was never involved, and then I got involved, and I had to start a contract the next year. I was already in the contract negotiations after I got involved, after I became a steward, and that was what's going on. And then COVID happened. All this, it was a lot. There was a lot going on in 1 year. I became a steward. COVID happened, and you can't even do regular negotiations together. But I was able to figure it out and learn. But that's what everybody has to do. They gotta try to learn something, man. You just can't pretend nothing's happening, or just let it ride out, or just get mad because change is not happening. Change doesn't happen by itself. You got to push change.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody got to do that, man. I was just a regular employee that finally got activated.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to activate everybody, you know. And sometimes it has to be something like people getting fired or like going on strike to activate. But it's better if you get activated a lot sooner to learn faster, you know, before situations like that happen.
And like I said, I've always said that, you know, I think, and, you know, people can have their own opinion, but I think the complacency at UPS is because we've had it good. We haven't had to fight.
Yeah.
Since 97, when they went on strike, look, they haven't had to fight. They have the best contract in the entire Teamsters Union. They do. They have the best contract. They have the highest wages. They have good, I mean,
Best
you'd
language.
be surprised. We've talked to other business agents from other locals, even our own local, and they grab our contract from UPS and try to, you know, mimic that. And they go, oh, I want to take this language. This is good language. This is that. Because we have a great contract.
For sure.
But it has bred complacency. People don't get involved. People don't care. People are, in all honesty, people are selfish. They care about themselves. They don't fucking care about their brother and sister next to them. And I have, this show is really an attempt to fix that culture that has just been shit. Yeah. I'm not afraid to say it. It's been shit.
Oh, for sure.
I was there. I drove a truck for a long fucking time. I worked there for 20 years. Like, I get it. Like, I wasn't involved. And I take some of the blame for it, too. Just like you said.
Oh, for sure.
I take some of the blame for not getting myself involved, right? But once you know, after I, you know, became a steward and I kind of started getting involved, and I'm like, fuck, dude, this is way bigger than me. You know what I mean? You have, I got my Albertsons brothers over here. I got my CVS brothers over here. I got, you know, all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like the strike fund. To me, you know, we can talk about it and everyone can have their own opinion. To me, it's not just about you. And $10 is $10 a week, or I mean, excuse me,
50
$10
cents
a
a day.
month, right? So I get it. Like, you can have your own opinion about it, but I look at it like, hey, I not only am I providing for the people next to me, but for the generations coming up behind
The future, they were talking about.
What if my son's a Teamster one day?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want that local to have fun,
Yeah.
to be ready to go.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. I get it. At the end of the day, it's your money. You know what I mean? You want to spend it the way you want to spend it, but you are part of a union, and it's way bigger than
Exactly.
you know, your brown bubble or
Exactly.
whatever you want to call it. It's
Exactly.
way bigger than you.
You don't
It's
see
kinda
that
like-
until you get involved. That's the thing we gotta do is get people to come see it.
Yeah.
You know, because like me, it took me a long time, but once I got here and I was like, oh, you know what? There's a lot going on here. Like, now I was able to fix things in my contract. Like, do you understand how crazy that is? Like there's things going on at work that you don't think you could fix it, but if you get involved, you can actually change something. Right?
Yeah.
When I got there, I changed all that stuff that was going on. I made sure I changed all that language that was getting people fired. They're not getting fired no more in my department for that shit no more. They're not, because I changed it all. But somebody had to step up and do it.
Yeah.
Somebody. And who else is going to do it if you don't do it? Like, 'cause you're expecting somebody to do it, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah, that's why you have to take the step, right? Like, quote JFK, it's like, if not us, who?
Yeah.
If not now, when?
Yeah.
You have to take that step.
Yeah.
You can't just expect the next person to do it, or, you know, not me, someone else is going to do it. You have to be the one that steps in and does it. And I think everyone should have that motivation to just be a part of the union, you know, because the whole thing is united, we're strong. But if everyone's selfish, I mean, we're divided.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, since I've been involved, I've been in a bunch of strike lines, you know, with Silver and everybody. Like, we go to these strike lines. They're not even my strike lines, but I'm seeing what's happening out there right now. Like, next, it might be us, you know, when it's our turn.
Some of them aren't even Teamsters.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest,
they're not even Teamsters.
right?
Yeah.
It's a labor
It's
movement.
just to seeing everybody's trying to fight for something better, you know, and when it's our turn, I'll be ready, but I got to make sure everybody understands, you know, you have to look for something that's better than you. Like, I only cared about myself in the past.
Yeah.
You know, I always cared about myself. But when I helped out to change the language in my contract, you know, I want to say after like a couple weeks after we finalized the contract, they tried to suspend somebody in my department for the same exact reason that I changed.
Yeah.
You know, and they actually suspended her. I told my supervisor, look, I changed the language.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You shouldn't. Like, I just fixed it.
Take this shit right
And
the panel.
She still suspended her, and she started crying. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry, I fixed it. You're gonna go take your
Or
little
you're gonna
break.
get back pay.
Yeah, take your little break right now. Go get suspended. You're gonna get paid for it.
Like Gary's story.
Yeah, and,
Get that
and she
back
did.
That's happened a couple times.
She got paid for her suspension, and it wasn't a suspension anymore. You know, it was a regular write-up.
Yeah.
A regular write-up. It wasn't a suspension because if I didn't fix it, the next step was a termination.
Like Alex's shirt.
Yeah. So
We talked about
you
making
got
shirts.
to get
That
involved
was a
to
good
change
shirt.
things, especially when it comes to contracts. You got to be ready and understand that when it comes to contracts, it's really important to get involved.
Yeah.
You know, throughout the year, you're supposed to.
I gotta say, dude, you know, just being involved in the UPS negotiations, like that is something that didn't take place before. Where Sean has, and it starts at the top, is what I'm saying, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Starts at the top. It's not just Eric. You know, Sean is our new general president, right? So when he took over, bringing rank and file into the negotiations, that was huge.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Oh, big time.
Right? I mean, he's over there. I mean, you got feeder drivers, you got part-timers, you got regular drivers in negotiations to address those things that, you know, someone like myself, or another BA, or whoever's negotiating those contracts might not see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't know exactly what's going on the shop floor like you do.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so it's important, and it's a fucking great thing in my eyes. It's a really great thing. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, it's time. It's time for all of us to step up.
Yeah.
You know, all of us. It's not me only. It's not Gary. It has to be all of us at work. You know, they got to figure out, pay attention. Yeah. At least pay attention to what's going on, man. Like today, we had a strike for a meeting. Everybody should have been here.
Yeah.
Everybody should have been here.
Should have had 10,000.
Come on, man.
Yeah, we should have had 8,700
Yeah.
members here today.
It should have been packed house. Like, it was packed, but it should have been like parking lot packed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, come on, man. Like, this is important. Stuff like this is important. Either way, whatever you think, like yes or no, come here and voice your opinion, you know, because it's important. Like, if you're not getting involved, then set up for what's going to happen.
It's kind of like that thing. If you don't vote, then
Yeah.
don't talk shit.
Don't get mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just go with the flow then. If that's the case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, show up to those meetings, and I've been hammering, just hammering over and over. Just come to the meetings, get involved.
It's
It's one Saturday a month.
It's it's a small sacrifice.
It is.
Very small.
And then, not to mention all the cool stuff you guys been doing,
yeah,
like
we-
with the softball stuff.
just hang
Softball
out.
shit's cool,
hanging
man.
Yeah,
out.
just to hang out with
It's
each other,
just
you know?
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
we try to make it, you know what? We're with each other a lot now, you know?
Yeah.
Especially now, we got a little bar by our house. By
You guys
our
are like
work,
building a community,
parties.
like a
Yeah,
culture.
We're trying to build a community,
Yeah.
you know? Well, amongst,
We've actually discussed the same bar you're talking about, right? It's the same one.
Yeah.
We've actually discussed doing a live event there.
oh, that's
So,
a good,
Yeah.
that's probably good.
If the
man.
owner watches the show, tell him, hey, we were considering doing
love
a
to-
live
I would
event
love
there.
to do a live
We'll
event
pack
there.
it out with Teamsters, and they like to drink.
Hey, we got a flag. We got a
It's a
flag
952
there.
flag,
Yeah,
right?
we
Yeah.
make sure we
Yeah.
put it
See
up there,
pictures.
man, because that's our spot.
Yeah.
It's next to Albertson.
By the way, CVS
It's
put
next
that
to
flag up
CVS.
over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
plus one for
Hey, we make
CVS.
sure. Hey,
Because I'm always saying that because the Albertsons guys
No,
are
wait,
here. They're
it's a
looking at
C-
me right now.
it's a CVS spot, and Albertson just comes along. you know?
Yeah, it's a CVS spot.
yeah,
Albertsons is
yeah.
They come for
welcome.
the ride, you
Welcome
know?
for sure.
They see the party happening. Come on.
Yeah.
You know? Hey. Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is, next episode, maybe you get Albertsons people up in here.
Well, that's the
so
plan.
They can speak their
That's
the
piece. You know, they
yeah.
they could try to,
We
because it's
wanna-
competition, which is
Call it
good
the
competition.
Who Runs Lambert
yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Like,
Who runs Lambert?
CVS is kind of running it right now, man. Hey, even some of the Albertsons
but
guys
hey,
are telling us, man.
At the end of the day, the Teamsters are running Lambert,
Yeah,
but
that's what it
At the
really
end of
is.
the
That's
day,
that's what it really
It's,
comes down
CVS
to.
is
healthy
at the top, though.
competition.
That's what it
Healthy
really comes down
competition amongst, which is good because it never happened. We never even talked.
If I'm telling you guys, if I ever light a fire under these UPS guys' asses, we're gonna be number
I
one.
was gonna say, hey, I'm waiting for that,
We're
man.
the biggest,
Just
man.
wait.
I'm waiting
Just
to see that. I'm waiting to see that, man.
I'm waiting to see.
Yeah, me too. Cause
I've been trying.
I've been
man.
calling them
Trying to
out
do everything
every
I
time
can.
We're trying to change that culture.
Every time I see them around, hey, where you guys at? I don't see you guys too much, man. Like, I call them out too. Like, oh, I know, man. We don't come around too much. Okay. Well, it's time, man, because CVS and Albertsons, we're running the local now.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
that's
not
what it
gonna
is. It's truthfully, it is. UPS is the biggest one. They should be running it, but they're not. But that's what you got to call them out sometimes. Hey,
No,
you're going
dude,
to show
I've
them up?
said it.
Come on,
I've
show
said
up.
it, dude. I have
Yeah.
meetings on Tuesdays for the drivers, and I've said it. Look,
Yeah.
you guys aren't gonna vote. If you guys aren't gonna fucking care, then I don't know what to tell you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
You got
that
most
literally
guys
comes
that
down
came
to
in
that
and-
literally comes down to the culture. We've talked about it numerous times on this show, just with the old administration, and just I didn't get involved until I was like 17 years into this.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
was
that's a
probably around
long
the same.
fucking time. It's a long fucking time to not be involved.
And
you know?
like I said, I take my blame for that too.
yeah,
I really do.
definitely partly.
I
my
will
fault.
say, we were talking about people being selfish. I was probably selfish. You know what I mean? I didn't want to give up my time and my weekend. And
Yeah.
what am I going to? I'm going to go sit in a union meeting.
Right,
What the
it
fuck am I
happens.
doing?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you really start getting into it, when you really start, you see it's bigger than me. It's bigger
For
than me.
sure. For sure, man. And we need everybody to see that.
Break real quick. We are back,
back.
from our
Little potty break.
Potty break. Hopefully, one day that'll be a commercial break. But no, man. I mean, I think we were just discussing, involvement and getting involved and keep, just lighting that fire under people. And it does take different, scenarios sometimes. Maybe it might be a strike.
ignite that
Maybe
fire,
it be people
yeah.
getting fired. Maybe, whatever it is. Maybe it's just somebody talking to you. And I try, as a steward or as a business agent, or you'll never talk to everybody, every individual person. It's just not going to happen. It's
impossible.
We
Yeah.
need members to step up and talk to members, to care about their brother, their sister next to them. We that's what we need. We need involvement, and once it's like a snowball effect. And that's really how I look at it at UPS. You start with a pebble and you kind of fucking roll it down the hill, and it picks up some snow, and it just keeps going, and that's really what we want. We want an active 952. We want an involved 952 and an excited 952, to be
for sure,
honest.
man,
I
for
mean,
sure.
and not just that, we want an excited Teamster movement.
there
we
we
want
go.
an excited labor movement that's just ready to fight. I mean, corporate America's a giant. They're making shit ton of profits all the time.
Oh, it's time.
And
right
they're
now,
all on
man.
the same
It's
side.
time.
That's the thing is the companies are always
Yeah.
they're solid, dude.
Yeah.
They're solid, and they're looking for division amongst all the union members, right? They're looking for people fighting against each other, having arguments, having disagreements.
Hating the
That's why we
union.
need to fucking unite.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's what it
haters,
is. Sometimes
dude.
we just hate them.
Basically, I mean, that's what
Yeah,
it is.
they think it's a third party. They think it's a third party, so they hate them.
Yeah.
They gotta understand you are the union. You are the union.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
changes without you. Like all of us. Like if nobody does anything, nothing changes. Like they think it's a third party. And I hear that a lot. They think it's not them. But
Something
they-
that Sawa says all the time.
Yeah.
And by the way, fuck Sawas.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, fuck all
Yeah.
this.
Something that he says all the time, honestly, is invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
Because you are the union.
Yeah.
Yep.
You are. It's important. If you took the time, you came to the meetings, you might be a little bored. Like, I get it. They go through the financials. They
Oh,
do
yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The
But
first
like to
15 minutes are just
yeah,
reading the
right. But
financials.
Yeah, it's tough.
to get to know your brothers and sisters, and to get to the point where you're like, oh shit, like I got friends here. This is
Yeah.
especially at your craft. Those people that you work with at CVS, you probably spend more time with them than your actual family.
100%.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
the way it is, especially at UPS. We worked a shit ton of hours. I mean, we were just there. We were together. We would see each other every morning. What's up? Grab a coffee, maybe grab a beer after work. Like, you're with them way more than your family.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
That
sure.
sucks and it's sad, but you're a laborer. You provide for your family. That's what you do.
Gotta make that money somehow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sell yourself on the internet. feet pictures.
Feet, foot pics.
OnlyFans?
But I mean,
Join
really,
our
like,
OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans. Dude, you guys need to get an OnlyFans.
Oh shit! I mean, you're gonna be the first.
You'll
guest.
have
Oh, no, come on, bro.
hey, you have Sabas on there.
Hey, Salas would be down to do it, huh?
Salas already has one.
Yeah,
So
probably.
you see
I wouldn't
Cholo, Teamster Cholo on
Teamster
there.
Cholo?
That's Salas. Yeah, we're assholes. But anyways, I mean, you know, just involvement, getting people involved. I really like your stance, you know, and your hunger for getting other people involved. It's not just like, you know, some people do it for a title, and I've seen it. I've been around enough stewards that, you know, or stewards, even BAs or whatever.
They want the
They
classification.
want the name,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't want to put in the work. At the end of the day, I talk about it all the time, and I probably shouldn't, but like, fuck, I don't make as much as I did on the truck. I don't. I could make a lot more money being on the truck and being inactive. To me, it's way bigger than me. Like, it's about the members. I remember being a steward and helping one guy, and you know, if you're watching Gio, you know, I love you, bro. That guy, you know, he was, you know, getting harassed, and I had to go to bat for him, man. And I put myself on the line because they were coming after me hard, you know, and I was getting into it with supervisors, with the manager every day, like, I mean, daily. And I remember when we finally took that, you know, to panel and to a labor meeting, and, you know, we got into it, and just when it was all said and done, this guy came up and he thanked me, and he was like, dude,
Awesome.
he's like, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done. You know, you went to bat for me, and we prevailed. And that right there was the fucking end for me. I was like, dude, that's what I want to do. I want to help people.
It feels good, man.
It feels
good.
rewarding, right?
It feels good.
rewarding.
Like,
I'm
to be able to
okay.
care somebody.
I've always been a bigger person. You know, like I mean, like big.
Oh, you
know
mean
what I
literally?
I've always been, yeah, literal, physical, big person. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, I had been accused of being a bully, but like I don't like bully like mentality.
Yeah.
To me, I was always like, oh, you want to be a bully? Then well, you can come pick on me then.
I think in the
We
20
could do
years
that.
I've known you, I don't think I've ever thought of you as a bully.
Well, I only said that because I had some people that knew me in high school, and I was, you know, I just did a lot of stupid
Kid.
shit.
High school doesn't count.
Kid, don't count.
But I
man.
mean, I never, honestly, as long as I can remember, I never really liked that bully mentality, and I feel like there's supervisors like that. They get that title,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, you know, I'm like,
you gotta do
oh,
what I
really?
say.
Really?
It
Is that what you
happens.
think?
It happens.
All right,
Yeah.
well, we can talk about it.
That's when you got. That's when it's time to check them.
Yeah, you gotta put them in check.
Yeah, it has to happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially if it goes against the contract.
Yeah. Well, then
Especially
you got ground to
Especially
stand on.
That's
Yeah.
why.
And I've always tried
That's
to
the most
be
important part.
smart with the way I do battle. I know some, and it's not a knock. Everybody has their own style, right? But I know some people that, like, to a fault, might just be like really animated. To me, I'd rather like beat somebody up with the contract and have them go like, oh fuck, there's nothing I could say.
Oh yeah.
It's not just we're not just getting into a verbal altercation. We're not just getting, you know, I'm not just threatening to kick your ass. I'm telling you, no, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Here's why you can't do it. And
in
guess
writing.
what? If you do it, you're going to pay some penalties. You're going to pay this. You're going to do this. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you how you're going to run your shit because this is what the contract says.
And that's the importance of a contract.
Yeah.
You know, that's why
100%.
it's so important to understand how important the contract is, and when it's time to do a contract, how important it is to get involved and to say what you got to say, to put it in there, you know, because that's the time. That's the
when those
perfect time.
proposals come out, and I actually had a lot of complaints and people questions, whatever. You know, we have the UPS contract, so they did proposals online. They did them in person. They did. They tried every way to get everybody involved. And then after the proposals, you get people complaining about, oh, well, why didn't they address this? And I always
I
ask
just
them,
told them, why don't you make a
did you
proposal?
make a proposal?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have time. And I'm like, whoa, I don't understand that. You have a complaint, something that needs to be fixed. At the end of the day, like I said, you guys know the shop floor better than anybody. Stewards, members, you guys know the shop floor.
Yeah.
Your negotiators who you voted in might not know the shop floor as good as you, or maybe not just not know the shop floor, but like maybe like current events that are going on, current issues. You have something that needs to be addressed, needs to be fixed, you address it, right? I mean, you
100%.
put it in a proposal, and that way, if it does come up and say they don't negotiate something better, then you can complain. You'd be like, hey, motherfucker, I put in a proposal because this is going on. This is going on. You know?
And I believe that like the members also, like if you, let's say they don't want to like physically tie themselves to their own proposal, because I know that's come up a few times, just ask your shop steward if they're okay with just them promoting
and I know
doing the.
I mean, even if somebody came up to me, as a business agent and said, hey, I was thinking about this proposal, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
we'll
bring
get
it
in there.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to get it in there. 100%. I might ask them to write it out or whatever if they don't want to put their name in. That's not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
I'm worried about fixing problems. I'm not worried about who brought the problem up. Like
Exactly.
it is what it is.
Just bring up the problem.
For sure, especially if it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Especially
Definitely.
if that.
So, I mean, I don't think we did too much, but I mean, like, how long you been a steward? Like, what's that all about?
I've been a steward 4 years.
4 years?
4 years. When they asked me to be a steward, or when they asked me I should run, like I said, I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't even trying to be a steward.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make change. I wasn't trying to be a steward at all. I wasn't even thinking about trying to do it. What happened lit a fire under me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign my name. Let's see what happens. So when that was going on, there was going to be an election. And I didn't get voted in because I don't know. Tell you the truth, I don't know what happened. But Emerson's like, well, it's not that we didn't even vote for me because they didn't give me a chance to get voted in. Emerson called me up a couple of days before the election, a couple of weeks, and told me, we're just going to assign you to be a steward.
Want you to be an alternate?
Yeah, a steward. And I was like,
Okay.
He's like, because there's nobody in your department that is a steward, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to make you a steward. And I was like, man, I really want to go through an election. I was ready for it.
Hey, that's cool, man, because some people...
I was ready for it. I was like, come on, man.
Yep.
He's like, no, but there's nobody in your department that wants to be anything.
Yeah.
So we need someone in that department. So I was like, fuck. All right, I'll take it.
I mean, you would have ran an election, you would have been the only name on there.
Yeah.
But then,
Right.
So you would have won anyway.
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah, maybe I wouldn't. Who knows? Because, I wasn't active at the time. I was active, but my department would have voted for me. But who else? Or anybody else? I don't know. But I want to say like 3 years later, I asked for an election. I went to the mic and I said, I want an election.
I remember.
For myself.
I remember.
Yeah, I did. And I was like, you know what? It's time for me to be elected, and I want people to vote for their own stewards, all their stewards, all of us. And I was asking for an election, and it happened, and I got voted in.
That takes some balls, dude.
Yeah, and
it does.
Because I didn't care. Because the thing was there were so many people at work that would be angry about everything. And I was like, step up to be a steward. No, I got time. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Then why you getting, I'm trying my best. I got little kids at home too, you know? Like, you don't think I got a life? I got a life too.
Yeah.
You don't think we all got a life, But I'm doing this because I see something else I got to do, And it's taken away from my kids right now. Yeah. But I'm doing this because I want to, because I know we all need this, But you're getting mad at me because I'm not doing exactly what you want. Okay, well, step up. You do it then. I'll give you. I'll tell James. Oh, me shout out to James, because when he showed up, things changed again. It was a different story, but James came up, brought something else to the table, which was good. We need that change too. We need both of them. We need Emerson and James at the same time. So James brought a different perspective, but I was calling everybody out at work. Okay, you want to do it? Do it.
Yeah.
I want you to
talk about it.
Like quit complaining about everything that's going on. Step up, because I don't have to be a steward. I got kids too, man. I got all this stuff going on with me. What are you gonna do? I'll step down, and I'll tell James to put you as a steward. That's all.
Just swap.
I've actually heard this before.
Yeah.
So Sawas did that to another person who was complaining about him. He was like, Well, fuck, you be the BA then.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the truck and I'll go make more money. So you be the BA. And he was like, well, no, I don't want to be the BA. I just want to complain about the BA.
No, but that's what it is, man. Like,
That's how it does.
People-
Definitely how it gets.
Yeah.
For sure.
members, everybody, like, it takes a lot to do what we do. Sometimes I didn't even understand it until I became a steward. You know, there was times where I was ready to quit because it was just like, it's not that I couldn't do it. It was just so much negative towards me.
Yeah, it gets to be
you know?
too much
And
sometimes.
I was like,
Yeah, it
really?
becomes
Like,
overwhelming.
what are you doing? Like, I'm the one trying to do something and you're coming at me this way? Really? Like, what are you guys doing, man? Really? Like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to step up.
And I
You know?
think part of it, honestly, is at the end of the day, and it's been one of the positives that have come out of the show, getting to interview like some high-ranking officials within the Teamsters Union. Like it really it personalizes them. Like people forget. They just see the title, whether it's business agent, whether it's steward. They just see the title. You know what I mean? And they don't really.
They don't
grasp
humanize them.
that these people are humans.
People.
They have a life too. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Really, a steward doesn't get paid, so you're doing all this out of the goodness of your heart, and stepping up. And granted, I get there's shitty stewards or shitty business agents. I understand,
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, especially as a steward, because you're still doing the job.
yeah.
George is still on the truck. I was
Still
still
on
on
the
the truck as a steward.
That's what I
doing
tell
my
him,
whole
too.
job.
I'm right here
taking
with you
phone
guys.
calls all day long, hearing all the complaints. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gary over there, I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
I'm just on the show trying to gas up your views. And everything.
You've been quiet, Gary. I don't like it. I don't like it.
But no.
But
Gotta
Gary's
earn that
been
parking space.
right.
Yeah, he must
I look
parking
to
space.
Gary at nights because he's been a strong ally
Yeah.
with us. Like even though we're nights and days, he's
Yeah.
always someone like, okay, man, like Gary, he understands what's going on, and he's strong about pursuing he changed a lot since I met him too, man. Because
Has he?
he was really
You've changed.
He was really aggressive. No, he was really aggressive in the beginning, but now he's more aggressive, but in a different
smart way?
In a smart way.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah. He
the thing was, I was aggressive, but
you need it sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
You need it sometimes.
at that point in
Yeah,
time,
you needed it.
especially with our new contract, I mean, I think I've said it on the show before, but we had to be aggressive. The stewards had
for
to be
sure.
aggressive.
Yeah.
We had to get in yelling matches with management. We had to call each other names. I mean, there's been times where, management's calling me certain names and I'm saying it back, and it's it's basically like, hey, fuck you, no, fuck you, like, oh, that's bitch shit, or
Sure.
it happens.
Yeah.
But since then, the dynamics changed. It's changed quite a bit, and
But it has a lot to do with our leadership.
the
'cause
leadership.
We needed
and using
aggressive.
your mind.
Yeah, we needed aggressive in the beginning because things are changing. The leadership at CVS, they were still on the same page from the past.
Yeah.
And
So it's changing for them too.
yeah,
It's
so,
changing for us,
So
but
we
it's
had to
changing
be
for them. So
we had to be
Yeah.
aggressive, and we had the right be at the time
That's
because
why they were campaigning for
Emerson
the
was
other
aggressive. He was aggressive. He was feisty, man. But you gotta have good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, you have
It's
to have
psychological
balance.
warfare now.
Yeah, you gotta have balance.
I mean, that's the best way you
agree.
can put it.
I mean, you got to learn to
Yeah.
outsmart your opponent and use the contract, and it is what it is, and you do your thing.
And to be honest, I mean, some of the members in the warehouse, they see that change, and sometimes they're gonna say, "Oh, well, look at Gary. He's just kissing ass to management," or
That's some horseshit.
you know what I mean. And
Yeah, I get it.
Alex, knowing that management watches these shows now.
Those-
Well, at least on our ship,
management.
management. Hi, CVS management. Hi, CVS management. You
Hey,
gave
we're-
away my secrets.
We're coming.
But, like we were talking about just a second ago with having people step in your shoes as a steward. They want the instant results at that moment in time, and if that doesn't happen,
You're a
they're
piece
quick
of
to
shit.
turn. They're like,
You're a piece of shit.
well, fuck you, Gary, and you know
Yeah.
what? Fuck the union because they're not doing anything. But they just don't understand the dynamic
The
behind
things take time.
the
A
argument.
process.
Yeah, it takes time.
There's a process that
to
stewards
it.
have to think about, like
There's a literal grievance process. It
Yeah.
takes
For sure.
time.
the grievance process. Am I going to win this in an arbitration? I mean, that's the biggest
That's
one.
another thing.
Yeah.
And,
The
you know,
arbitration.
You might have
Yeah.
members that maybe read a certain line in a contract and feel that it means this, right? And then sometimes you might have to explain to them, like, well, the intent of that language was actually this. And in an arbitration, if we take it, what is the arbitrator going to feel the intent of that language is? And that not only could affect you, but everybody behind
After,
you. And
everything
all the other locals that we have to deal with. Now there's a binding arbitration defining what an arbitrator thought that language
And
meant.
ultimately, if you
Yeah.
lose that, they're going to come back to 952 and be like, hey, 952,
Yeah,
why the
you
fuck did you
fucked it
arbitrate
up.
this
Yep.
and fuck it up for the rest of us? I mean, that's how we got our cell phones back in the warehouse. I mean, I don't know which local it was. Long story short, there was an emergency within their workplace, and CVS was always keen on not having our cell phones in the warehouse. And
Even though we
this
did.
this arbitration came up, they won. I mean, yeah, we all had them still, but this arbitration came up. You know, the union ended up winning it, and that was ultimately, you know, the company was like, well, there's nothing we could do about it now. You guys can have your phones.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell these members and get it in their heads, like, hey, I may not be able to fix it right here in this moment, but you have to understand where I'm coming from and
And the process. everything.
the whole dynamic of everything, because we're usually going to be the first guys to hear about the situations before the business agent. So you already have to start thinking the long-term process, like, oh, well, this is a dead loser of a grievance. If I file it, it'd be pointless.
Yeah.
If I took it to the lawyer or arbitrator, they'd be like, why are you even
Or
bringing
you've
it?
already lost
Why
it.
even bring
Yeah,
it
or
up?
you've
Yeah.
already lost it.
Grievance, and
And
it's like, okay, well, I already have a settlement on it. Like, what do you want me to do?
the legalities of it, it's
Yeah.
extreme. And that's what a lot of these people don't see.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's something you might not see at different levels too. And I always tell, you know, the stewards that I deal with, you might be able to get something done at the center level in the office that I can't get done in a panel. And I think some people have a hard time understanding what that means. But really, you could get your manager to do something sometimes, whether it be a relationship, whether it be his understanding of the contract, whatever. But I'll tell you from like a panel perspective, like from a, you know, and I guess I'm being rude to the members out there, but you might not know what that is, but that's like UPS court. So we'll have a grievance procedure. You know, we have a center level hearing with the steward. We have a local level hearing with the business agent and a labor manager, which is, you know, a little higher up there. And then if still can't handle it, you go to a grievance. You go to a panel, a grievance panel. So you go to the grievance panel, you either get a decision, deadlock, that's for like the Southwest, and then it's like regional. So you have the Southwest, and you might take it to the West. That's like, you know, Mark Davison, shout out to Mark. He's the chair for the West. He's the Western Region Package Director. So he'll hear anything, you know, that you couldn't come to agreement on the lower level panel, and then it could go up to national. And then you got Johnny Sawyer and, you know, those people up at the top.
Just sounds like a big headache.
It is. It's a long,
long
process. And people don't understand that sometimes. You know what I mean?
And that's
So-
fine, you know. That's fine if people don't understand it because they're not tied into that,
Yeah.
you know, dynamic.
But I just wish they did sometimes. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, and even when
would
you,
make life
you
easier.
explain it, it's like, well, that sounds like too much. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's what a steward's got to deal with, especially on a warehouse floor, because the companies. I mean, you can fix things at the street level, but when it comes to like, typically in warehouses, we're gonna have past practices and all that, and we all know how past practices are. I don't know if you guys use them,
Yeah.
or if you probably have a lot at UPS, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Ultimately, like an independent past practice, for example, if it's been in place for X amount of time and the company needs to change it, because we had one of these situations pop up on my shift at CVS, and a lot of guys got mad at me, but I told them the truth, you know?
Yeah.
And
The truth hurts sometimes.
it does.
Yeah.
And, you know, they'll get mad, but at the end of the day, they're like, okay, we understand. But to the independent past practices, the company can ultimately change that as long as they bargain with the union and they can prove why they're changing it. Yep. So long story short, we had this situation and these guys wanted it fixed right away. They're like, oh, well, we want to go home with our department. You know, whatever it is, we want to go home. Because they got pulled from their department, went into selection to handpick orders. They didn't want to do that for an extra hour. I couldn't get them out, you know, because management's always going to fight it.
Yep. Yeah.
But when I presented it to the managers, and if they're watching right now,
Hi, CVS management.
The supervisors, people might think they're dumb, but they're not dumb. They know how to play the game as well as a steward does in the union.
Especially
You know what I mean?
Long-term ones, yeah.
Especially long term, yeah.
As soon as I brought up this situation, they were like, well, maybe we should change the practice. All we got to do is call James and we can. And I was like, oh, well, hold on.
Yeah.
I was like, they're like, oh, it's only going to happen like every once in a while. But I mean, if it's a problem
they'll
now,
put it in stone.
and they play that game, and that's the stuff that stewards have to deal with that the regular member is not going to see.
Yeah.
So it's either I screw with these guys and be like, okay, let's change it, and then screw everybody in the long run, or hey, suck it up for the today and maybe tomorrow and just let it go because these guys already know
And
that.
you kind of have to have the judgment call, like, hey, is this a situation that's going on for a long time where I need to address it? And then at least the membership knows, you know what I mean, what's going to happen.
And that's the thing,
what's going on.
the stewards are always making those judgment calls that regular members, they don't see that. They don't ever witness or experience. Like, hey, the stewards are out here trying to make it better, but sometimes we got to make a call. It's either screw people in the long run or, hey, just 1 or 2 days, just suck it up for an extra hour and then go home kind of thing.
Like I say, always, I mean, we could talk
something, whatever,
that
you
being
let me
said,
know.
I
Talk
wanna
to your
ask
members
both
out
of
there.
you, Job especially. Is there anything you guys want to get across to the CVS members that you guys just, whatever it is, a motivational,
I'm ready.
something, whatever, you let me know.
Yeah,
Talk to your members out there, bro.
Look, you guys got to be ready. We got 21 more months until our contract's up. I tell you guys all the time, be ready. It's time, man. You guys ask for it. You guys want more money. You guys want more of a lot of things. So do I. But you got to be ready for it, man. Like, you got to step up, get involved. Everybody has to get involved. Like, you guys don't understand what's at stake right now, man. Like, you guys want the same thing from the past. You guys can have it. Don't do anything at all, man. Don't do anything. Don't come to the meetings. Don't do anything. For real. It's like,
Don't just calling everybody out,
look,
man.
we had a strike meeting. You guys weren't here. Where are you guys, man? I'm telling you the truth. Like, I want you guys here. You guys got to be here. Like, took me a long time to show up to this, but I'm here. And I see everything, and you got to see it for yourself. Like, you got to be here to see it. We got 21 more months. If you're ready, be ready. Because this is it right here, man. Like, you guys been talking about it. Let's see if you're about it. But actions speak louder than words. That's all I'm trying to say, man. You gotta step up. It's time to step up.
It's like when people also show up, they usually come back because they
sure.
like the atmosphere.
For sure.
They like showing up and they like seeing everyone's
that was nice.
united.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I'm not going to lie. We had a couple UPSers come up here a little while ago. I think they're going to be back.
I think they'll probably
like,
be back, to be
I know
honest.
after Joe, we're freaking reaming him over
Joe was
here.
over here reaming them.
Jeez.
I
But,
tell you,
hey,
He's like, you guys
Sometimes
never
that-
show up.
sometimes that's what it takes, though. You know what I mean?
hey, you gotta call people out sometimes, man. It has to happen. You
agree.
can't be scared to call people out. As
You
a steward,
cannot.
as a BA, you gotta call people out because it's not us; it's all of us,
Yep.
and that's
Yeah.
what has to be. You
We say
gotta
that
call
all the
people out.
time on the
You
show.
gotta call them
It's
all
bigger
out.
than us.
It is, man.
bigger than us.
And I'm calling everybody out, man. You guys,
Joe was over here fucking calling
I'm
everybody.
calling every single person at my work, not even my work, the whole local, man.
Yeah.
You guys not stepping up, then stop talking shit. Straight up.
I love
Straight
it,
up.
dude.
Stop talking shit. Because
I love it.
I don't see you guys. If I see you guys, then we could talk about it. You know?
Yeah.
Simple as
If
that.
there's issues, bring them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Come
there's
on,
issues, bring
let's-
them up.
Come over here and let's talk. But quit talking if you ain't going to do anything, man. Simple as that, man.
Love it.
Straight up, man.
For real.
That's what it is, man.
I love it.
Well, thank you guys. Always, Job. Thank you for coming on, brother. We really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
you.
me, man.
It's been a
Yeah.
blast.
Yeah.
Gary, fuck
Always
man.
here.
I'm gonna have to put a little name tag, Gary Brocker, right there because he's
might
on
have
the
to go
show
out
so
in
much.
retirement for a little bit.
You're not gonna bust a sauce. Fuck sauce. I don't want it to change to fuck Gary. Okay.
All right.
But no, really, I mean, we appreciate you guys for coming on. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, enjoying the content. You know, if you're a UPSer, I apologize as a UPSer.
I'm sorry if this is a little aggressive towards you.
Hey, but honestly, like I really want to see a more active, a more informed membership, ready to fight. Like Job said, get ready.
Yeah.
Get ready. Make sure you're ready for the fight because companies are coming for your shit. They're coming for your pay.
Yep.
They're coming for your benefits, all that. Inflation's up. They want to cry. They want to do this, that. I'm telling you, just like Job, I'm going to echo him. Get ready. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please smash that like button. Subscribe. Share. Those are important.
Just do the...
We appreciate you guys for tuning in. George.
Email us at ocst.000@gmail.com. You can put all comments in there. You can talk about the strike fund. You can talk about organization. You can talk about fuck Saba stuff. Fuck Sabas.
Yeah, fuck Saba.
Also, follow us on Instagram at ocst.952. We're gonna start posting more live events on there. I know we're talking about doing a live tattooing event with our brother Silver. Shout out Silver.
Yeah.
And until next week.
Yeah. See you then.
See you then.